which has creeped into our lives, that no matter, I mean, when I came to know that kids as young as 10, girls as young as 10, sometimes boys as well, are literally going on diets because they're not happy with their bodies. And that's when I think, my God, as parents, where did we go wrong? Where did we miss that, wisdom to pass on to the kids that no, they are too young to even be thinking about body imaging, thinking about anything else, because at the age of 10, I didn't
But you
know
know what
any.
is it, Rupi? What I believe, and again, this is like that's my personal belief.
Yeah,
I'm no psychologist or
yeah,
any of
no,
it.
that's fine.
I believe that if monkey sees, monkey does. There is an old
Yes,
saying, and a mother can say
yeah,
to her beautiful girl, it's like,
yeah,
you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're the most beautiful girl in the world. But if the same mom is looking herself in the mirror and she's like, look at, I'm getting really old. It's like, look how much weight I put on. It's like, look at my body. It's like, therefore, like, if that's how she's treating herself, her daughter is gonna pick up how her mom is treating herself, and she's going to replicate that. If mom is loving herself, she's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm loving myself as well." I remember having this client, and she came, and she that was yes, recent. That was 2 years ago. And when she came, she like, Rodney, I am my heaviest right now. And the reason I'm here is because I saw my 16-year-old daughter on a diet complaining how fat she is. And
yeah,
that broke my heart. And I realized, and kudos for her, like I realized that's on me because that's how I treated me. I treating me is like I'm telling her she's beautiful and she showed me her photo, absolutely gorgeous girl, but it's like she's not seeing it. But the thing is like I know seeing how beautiful I am. So she came, she did the whole experience, she saw the photos, she cried for half an hour, and she's like, from this point forward, I love me.
I am.
A
Yeah,
year later, met her, and she was like, Rodney, you have no idea. My girl is loving herself so much. It's like I can feel her love, and it's like I haven't said anything to her what she's supposed to do. I just been working on me, and she's doing the same thing on her. So
yeah,
that's what I believe is like the best way you can teach your kid is do the same thing as you. Can I tell you a tiny story that I absolutely love?
yeah. Please.
There was actually this woman that came to see this really, really wise man in this village. I think actually it was in India
Mhm.
somewhere. And she said, like, please, could you tell my son to stop eating sweets because they're not good for his health? The man told the woman, come back in 2 weeks' time. She's like, but how could you tell him? Come back in 2 weeks' time. He's like, 2 weeks' time later, he came back and he's like, could you please tell my son to
Mhm.
stop eating sweets? The wise man told the kid, stop eating sweets. The woman was like, okay. He's like, why couldn't you have told him that 2 weeks ago? He's like,
Oh, yeah,
2 weeks ago, I was eating sweets myself.
yeah.
So I love that story because you cannot tell some, you cannot do something for someone else for someone else when you're not doing it for yourself. Like there is no way you can try, you can fake it. Energy is impossible to fake, especially
Yeah.
when you are being it.
As a mother, it was a very conscious decision which I made when my eldest turned 10. And up until that point, I would buy magazines and stuff. And we were having this conversation. I don't even think she remembers this, where she said, oh, this lady looks so beautiful. And you know what? Probably we will never be able to look that beautiful ever. And that's the day I realized, you know what, the content I'm probably feeding to my child is not the content probably I would want to be fed at that age, because at that age I was happy just playing with my dolls, with my house, playing, making whatever you do in the make believe kitchen, preparing tea and probably food for my parents and serving them. I was still a child enjoying my childhood. I was not in a space where I would probably even have understood what being, beautiful meant, or what being, probably having a beach body meant. And it's funny because before you today, I've had another recording with another lady who's gone through lots in her life. She's got two beautiful daughters, and she became depressed after the birth of the first one. So she took to exercise, and exercise became her savior to come out of depression. And then she had health issues with fertility and whatnot. And then literally the same thing happened with, the depression and whatnot. And she said, again, exercise became my savior. So now she's trained to become a proper professional, trainer to teach people how to exercise and whatnot. And she was saying, she said, you know what? When I was doing my exercising with my first one being about 2 years old, I used to think she's taking away my time, my personal space for me to exercise. She said, Rupi, now when my 2-year-old wants to join in, she said, I have got no issues. And she actually posts it on her, Instagram videos when she's doing exercise. Her 2-year-old in the background has got her toys and everything, and she's trying to copy her mom. So we lead by example. Yeah.
If you imagine if you can have that impact on a 2-year-old that
Yeah.
can see what he's doing, they literally copying. We mirror our parents. I remember a quote actually posted something in Mother's Day recently, Mother's Day in Latin America. That is like sooner or later we all quote our moms.
Mothers, yeah.
All of us, like whether they've been good or bad, we do what they do. Like
you emulate their behavior. Yeah, I mean it's
human nature.
Yeah, you funny say that, because one of my girls said, I will never do that when I have kids. I'm like, yeah, I just stayed quiet. She said, why are you laughing? You're not passing any comment? I said, no, darling. I said, that is an experience for you to experience yourself. I said, because I used to think like that, where I thought I will never become my mom or my aunts or my grandmothers. I said, but somewhere along the line, I said, I have a little bit of all of them. And I said, only I know when I have that part of me pop up in the conversations. Nobody else can see that. Or perhaps my mother can probably see that when I become her. But eventually, all women do turn into a little bit of their mothers. So, yeah.
Yes, sooner or later, they all quote their moms. That is a fact. Like, literally, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Bless them, we love them.
So you are a very mindful person, so whenever you are with somebody, you're fully present. There is no 99.9% Rodney is present and that 1% is missing. How have you managed to achieve that in your personal life and in your personal space? How do you stay so present with every person you meet?
Actually, I think for me, it's like a woman is trusting me with something like, I always say this to all women that I speak in general, like sometimes it's easier. I'm using this as a metaphor. Sometimes it's easier for a woman to take off her clothes and be completely naked, like physically naked, than be completely emotionally naked. And I have all these women removing those layers, literally being naked, and like their soul, their heart is completely naked in front of me, which I am a complete stranger. Like normally they will not even open to close friends. The way they've been close, they have been open to me. And it's like, it's such a privilege. It's like, for me, that's why when I have any assistance, they know that my priority is the person in front of me. Like, no one else matters. Like, I don't care about anything else. There is nothing I can do right now. I don't have kids, so I don't have actually to be worried. If something happens to them, it's like, that person is my main priority. I'm there for them. It's like right now, there's like, Rodney, I trust you. And the fact that they're giving me that trust is something so sacred that how could I not do it? Like, there is no other way for me to be distracted. That person is the most important person in my world for the period there in front of me. Like, nothing else matters. And everyone in my studio, and I will be really careful the people when I come forward, when people say, Rodney, can I be your assistant? I will always check the energy. And if the energy is not in alignment with mine, or the sort of thing that the person will need, like what they will need, not what they bring, what they will need. Even if they don't have an experience, I don't care. I can build on that. But for me, something you cannot fake is energy and intention. And it's just giving them that, it's like giving them energy. And it's co-creation. You're creating something that has never been created before. I think actually that's the best.
And I can vouch for that, because some of my best conversations have been with you. You know, some of the best advice has come from you at times when, even with women, you know, who I'm close with, it's sometimes hard to open up to women for another woman, because you know what, there is this fear of being judged, there is this fear of being, you know, looked down upon, or you know, talks being done, gossip being made out of that conversation. So yeah, women find it very difficult sometimes to open up to women. But for me, it's always, perhaps it's because I've grown up with, you know, older siblings who have only been males. So growing up, I was not very feminine. I was literally a tomboy, climbing trees, you know, doing everything what boys does, except playing football. I think I've done everything. Cricket, you know, you name it, I've done everything. Trying to ride a motorbike, you know, scrape my knees, still not able to learn motorbike, managed to know how to ride cycle, you know. So all of that, and thinking from that aspect, you know, it's sometimes also the role models we have had in our lives which make that lasting impression. For me, you know, opening up to a male is easier for me than I am able to open up to a female. So, you know, with you, it's never been that hesitation that, oh my God, if I go to Rodney, you know, what is he going to do? And sometimes I've actually, you know, you've actually taken over the role of being that, even though you're younger to me in age, you've taken over that role of being, you know, the wiser one, and said, Rupi, this is not the way to be. This is what you should not be talking about. You should not be talking about yourself like that. And by the way, why are we saying this? Why can't you be this right now, right here, from here onwards? I'm like, okay. You do realize this guy is younger to you, but he's much probably wiser, coming out with the words you probably couldn't even think about it yourself. So yeah, it's you know, it's the perspective which I think you bring, a very open perspective. You give yourself wholeheartedly, not just by presence, by energy as well, by attention as well. And then the advice, it's also very to the T. You know, it's like, this is what it is, this is what you need to do, go and do it now. You know, so it's been some of the best conversations I've had with you. So yeah, just carry on being that, buddy. You're literally like a gem of a person. So your energy is, like I explained earlier, you know, energy is off the charts, right? And you vibrate on a very high energy. And like, if
When
somebody's
I'm happy.
no, even when you are so happy, you know, I've seen you, your energy is still quite
I
high.
know, Rupi. When I'm hungry and I'm tired, trust
Oh
me, I
yes,
don't speak
no,
to
apart
anyone.
from the,
I
yeah.
literally go into, what's up? I'm hungry. And I literally like, what's hungry? Like, what about this? Like, I'm hungry. And I
Yeah,
literally become this grumpy kid. So
yeah, I can vouch for that as well. You know, when Rodney is hungry, don't talk to him about anything except food, and just
just,
enough
just
food
give
so
me
that
food
he
and I will be
can
happy. And then
munch
you
on
will
it.
see that smile.
Yeah, and
Like,
then when you get your food, you're literally that happy kid who got the best toy in the world. And then your attention is fully on the food, not on the conversation which is happening around. And until you have not satisfied that hunger, you don't even look up from your
uh,
plate. You don't. And I think that's one of the best things, you know, because whatever you do, you're fully engaged, you're fully present, and you enjoy every second. It's like, you know what they say, squeeze the life out of every second. If I was to put a face against that, it would be yours, because I've seen you do that. You literally squeeze the moment, and you know, you literally dry it up and until there's nothing left in that moment to be taken out, and enjoy it thoroughly, whatever you're doing, you know. So how do you manage to stay in that higher state, Rodney? I know you do a lot of meditation, I know you do a lot of reading, you do a lot of inner perspective where you know, sit with yourself and you question yourself, and you know, you get your answers. So how easy is it to stay in that space? Because at the end of the day, you're dealing with other people, because you know, you are sometimes carrying them on your energy when their energy is not matching yours, because not everybody who walks through that door to get portrayed has that energy which matches with yours. You have to bring them up to that level,
yes, that's
and
my
it's
job.
a very heavy task at times, you know, to carry somebody else's energy on your own energy. So how do
You
you
know,
manage that?
I, I read something. There's actually a book that changed my life that's
Hmm.
called "Letting Go: The Power of Surrender"
Yeah.
by David Hawkins.